What's up, guys? My name's Dean, or as most of you know me, Twisty. It's time for the new update of Don Bradman Cricket 17. We have a menu now. Well, sort of a home screen and a new logo for Don Bradman Cricket 17. I'm sort of just messing around with Bradman's head here at the moment. Doing a little bit of a swivelly swirl around there. And now we're going to take a look at some of the Academy updates that were put in. There was sort of like a team update where you could sort of edit equipment to do with teams and things like that. So here I am just going through making the baggy green. Obviously, I don't have the Australian logo yet. And you were supposed to be able to sort of edit, I think, logos. And send them on their way to other people so they can use that, but I couldn't necessarily find where that was. I don't think people have been doing that yet, and you couldn't share logos either. So anyway, here's a bunch of logos that you can actually use throughout the game that are default to set as the team's default logos. And you've also got, now I noticed in this bottom left-hand side, you can actually edit the heads-up display for specific teams. So here I've got Australia, and as you can see, I changed that primary color, which actually changes the background color there. I don't really know what this secondary color does, whether it affects the background of the logo or sort of a fade or something. I genuinely couldn't tell what it did, but I was trying to do sort of like Channel 9 have had it in the last couple of years, I think. They've had sort of this bluish background for their heads-up display. So I was like, I could try and do that. But yeah, I guess for different teams, if you wanted to, like, I think it's when it's their home game, whether or not it's that team specifically. But that would be cool. So obviously different broadcasters have different heads-up display colors and things like that. And obviously there's a bunch of commentary names as well. So that's very cool. Let's take a look at the teams. I don't know if we've been able to see these before. But I decided to go through them anyway. So there's a bunch of women's league teams. We've got West Indies, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, New Zealand, India, England, Australia, the Big Bash teams, as well as just Australia's domestic and a bunch of international women's league sides as well. So even if people don't go through and create a bunch of women players, there is a lot of default ones there that you can use. Now let's have a look at the international teams. There is a number of them there. You've also got the Australian domestic, the Australian Big Bash, the Bangladesh domestic, England domestic, India, and the Premier League, IPL. Then you've got New Zealand's domestic sides available, Pakistan's domestic, Pakistan Premier League, I'm assuming, is that a thing? South Africa's domestic, Sri Lanka's domestic, West Indies, the Caribbean Premier League, and Zimbabwe's domestic, and then we're back to the women's side. So that is going to make for such an interesting career mode, don't you think? If all of those leagues are going to work into your career mode. I think that's going to be awesome if that is the case. And yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty cool. Now, in the practice menu here, we've got a couple of new options here. We've actually got batting game and bowling game locked down the bottom there. So does that mean in a soon update, we'll actually be getting like sort of mini games prior to the game's release? Maybe in a batting game you have to try and hit a number of runs in 5 overs, or a bowling game you have to try and take as many wickets in 5 overs, or something like that. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. And also for the both the nets and the SCG training, you can actually put your player out on the field now. So I'm going to do that in a moment. Instead of using my men players, I actually went out and decided to make a default woman player and use that for the SCG. And see if women batted any differently, because I know they were doing mocap with some female cricket players to put into the game. I was just trying to do a number of shots here. Let me know if you think there's anything that's like dramatically different. I don't know whether it's been put into the game yet, whether I'm just not seeing too much difference here in variation, but you would think most of the time they play pretty similarly, right? It's cricket. There's only X amount of shots that you can do, kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's slightly different. But it's obviously probably not going to be a hugely used fixture. That's the helicopter shot that I didn't show a couple of weeks ago because I didn't actually know how to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's update, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know what you think again in the comment section below. As always, I'm going to be doing updates every Sunday for the weekly Friday update. Apologies that I can't get them out on a Friday. I'm generally doing things. Same thing with Saturdays. So yeah, that's generally what are we doing? Every Sunday, I'll be bringing you the latest update and sort of giving you every bit of news that comes along with that. Hopefully we'll get a stadium creator soon. I'll let you know about that one as well. But yeah, definitely it's looking fancy-ish at the moment. Plenty of things, and as soon as we can sort of get people's logos into the game, it's just gonna look spectacular. So it is a very community-driven project, but once it all comes together, I think it'll be very good in the end and look spectacular. So we'll wait and see. We've still got a couple of months, obviously, till release of the full game, but we'll wait and see how things go until then. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.